All right. Good afternoon, morning, evening, middle of the night, wherever you are. I hope I'm audible and you can all hear me. Please let me know in the chat. Welcome to Resolume Weekly, the weekly live stream in which we discuss everything new in Resolume. We host some challenges, look at new footage, some wire patching, and we are always, of course, here for Q&A. You can ask me anything. If you have really, really difficult questions, there are some developers in the chat that can help you out with stuff. And if you want to see something, a certain feature of a question, we're always just here to help you guys out and try to uh, yeah, help you out, answer your questions, demo stuff you would like to see. So I see some familiar faces. Steve is back. Uh, Kid Blast Sound System is back. Thank you for joining last challenge. This week, so last week we had this challenge where everybody had to make a piece of content, a piece of footage about. Oh, I have to fix one thing on my microphone. I forgot. Microphone, yes. One moment, it will greatly improve the audio quality. So I'm back. Just a little audio, just a little bit better right now, hopefully. So yeah, last week we did this little challenge to make footage with the theme of pathways. It was really nice. Got some nice footage from that. This week we had a little challenge. Well, it was a very little challenge. There was not a big concept behind this, but make an effect. Two awesome people did this, me included. But I get that this is a way was a way too quick a challenge to do. So that's okay. We have two cool effects. We'll go through them, and at the end I will have another challenge. This time a little bit more structured, a little bit more easy, and we'll see how much response we can get on that. So let's get started. The first effect I want to show you guys is the Shockwave effect. It's made by STV in Motion, who is also in the chat. It's really cool. It's active, as you can see now. There's the rings you see that are created, the transparent rings. If I bypass the effect, you can see this the content just playing. And when I activate it, it creates this cool ring. And I added it. I gave it this nice curve. So each 8 beats, we get this wave effect. Steve included a whole bunch of parameters. I'm just gonna play around with this a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys afterwards. So this is just gonna be a little demo. Let's put some music on. I hope this is audible. Oh, I think there's something going wrong with the stream on YouTube side. Let me quickly try to fix this. I hope everything is all right. I'm getting an error here on YouTube side. I'll just continue, and you guys can let me know in the comments if you're not seeing anything right now. This is a new. Okay, I'm back. I'm getting another message from YouTube telling me that the connection is excellent now. So this should work. I spoke too soon. Let's see. Yeah, the error is back again. It stutters. Um, Thinking about what could be the problem here. Um, yeah, I'm getting stutters here as well. is. All right. It seems that we are back. Hopefully. Um, I'll let's do a little test. If you guys have any, see this as a lag test. Yes, is this? It seems that we are doing fine again. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have no clue what that was. I'm getting an okay from YouTube now. So we'll continue, I guess, from this point on. I'm rebooting Arena, and we can get back to Steve's effect. Now this will prove if the this proves if I now use Steve's effect again, right? And the stream breaks again, we can blame everything on STV in motion. He will get all the blame. Um, so let's get back to Arena. All right, back on air. Everyone is happy. Good. Then I am happy too. So we're back in Arena. Well, we have the effect back on now. So if now the connection breaks, it's Steve's fault. The resolution will probably be a bit lower of this video of the stream, but at least we can continue. So that's pretty awesome. Where we let's pick up where we left. I think should I do something like "Welcome to Resolume Weekly" and just cut out the first 20 minutes of the stream? So what we were doing, we were working with the effect of Steve, and I had a little cheat sheet of how to build it. There was the thickness. Is the blur disabled? Bloom? Yeah, bloom needs to be disabled. Else we're getting the same issues again. He was running that as well. I want to envelope this as well. We're going to make a cool animation on it. Let's adjust some of these values a little bit to get, yeah, so we basically want to start out small, but also get thicker as we move to the outsides. So the size is already for the movement, the thickness is for the line getting thicker over time. Then I want to have the same thing effect on the amount of fisheye. I'm also going to envelope this, and no presets. I want this to be quadratic in out, and of course we should not timeline it but BPM sync it all, because I will turn on the music after we're done and test it out on a couple of clips. Yeah, let's do this as well, but just a very small amount, maybe 0.2-ish. So the entire clip will grow. Yeah, but I want to do this over, probably over. Yes, that's cool. What else? The amount of ripple, we can also animate that. And the quadratic in out envelope just looks really nice with this. Let's reduce this. These are really just magic values. That's nice. Yeah, cool. So we get this really smooth shockwave. Are you guys still receiving it, by the way? Because my screen is stuck again. So I hope you guys are still seeing this. Please let me know, because YouTube is giving me mixed signals. It is saying it there's an excellent connection, but the screen is not progressing anymore. So please let me know if I'm talking to somebody or, yeah, okay, we're still good. Okay, cool. Because my YouTube screen is stuck, but it says it has an excellent connection. Anyway, we got the effect up and running. For the pro users out there, there's a bloom. If I do that, my computer goes to 10 frames. So thank you for confirming everything is all right. So let's turn the music up and see how this does on the beat and a couple of clips. Oh, it's really cool on the rings. Thank you for confirming, Ari. So it's really cool how smooth the ring is. I like it. Just trying out a couple of clips to see what it does. And of course, in a bit, I will take you to the patch so you can actually see how this is made, because this is a wire effect. So you can check it out yourself. This is kind of cool, like a really stuttery clip with a very smooth transition over it. I like it's almost sort of a speed contrast. I like it. And last clip. I see a question about wire. I think Stijn can help you out with that. He's in the comments too. So this is kind of cool. This would be a nice moment to play with the levels, because if I am correct, this will adjust. Yeah, so we can get like a black ring this way, and different kinds of color blends, because you're just telling Arena where to put the focus on. So this reddish, I really like this reddish. So now the ring also creates sort of a red thing. The rippling effect. Yeah, so the ripple is on here. It distorts everything inside of the ring. We can see that if we pause the video on the right moment. You can see that the inside is getting distorted by the ripple effect. Really cool. Thank you, Steve. Now I would like to take you to the next effect made for this little challenge, which will be available in the comments as well. Or in the comments, the next effect is called Bouncy, and it's made by your favorite streamer, which is me. So basically what it does, let me bypass it for, let me disable it for now. So basically what it does is on a bounce, when you send it the bounce trigger, it bounces your footage around. So I want to make something that works on the beat. So this effect will be free for everybody in the stream, watching the stream. So that's really nice. So we have this bounce. It wiggles your footage up and down. Let's take another clip. You can bounce it manually. I already put an envelope in it. We'll do that in a bit. You can set the duration of the bounce. So the bounce will take longer. Wing. Or like a really short bounce. You can set the amount of bounce. So you can go really, really wiggly on it. So that's pretty nice. You can wrap it. So if it's bounces, it repeats the texture, which works great on this clip. And then you can set the width of the bounce. So right now we have sort of the center bouncing. If we lower this down, you get really to the center point. And then all the way, you can bounce your entire clip. It's a little bit of a funny effect because it makes sort of your footage look funny. It makes it look, oh yeah, and we have a direction. So you can bounce in a horizontal, a vertical, as I call this, and a horizontal, which is just weirder. It's based on a gradient. I'll show you later on. So basically in this vertical mode, the gradient is vertical, and on the horizontal mode, the gradient is horizontal, but I'll show you that later. So what works pretty nice is giving the bounce an envelope. So it gets bounced on every kick, basically. So if I turn the music on, back to the layer, and that's your effect right there. Sometimes it works better with the wrap. I think this one would be nice. Yeah, you can wrap. This was just this was me experimenting with the how you say, the UV offset node. I wanted to get some experience with the UV nodes because I will be making a tutorial on these nodes pretty soon. But I need to understand better what they do, so I needed to play around with them a little bit. We can get this really short and snappy. This is nice. This is a cool one. Works well on this clip. Though because it's like it has this elastic vibe to it, it is a bit childish or something like that. You know what I mean by childish? But it is a very, very simple effect. It's very easy to use. You can go all glitchy, you can go to glitch down with it, or it can just like be subtle like this. So we bounce around. So, oh yeah, one final thing I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna turn the bounce off now. Is this challenge was of course a little how you say a little wire challenge, so to speak. But I just wanted to demonstrate that you can also make cool effect-like things by using masks. So here I created this clip. Of course, you can't see it. Let's disable the mask for a moment. So this is I made this little clip. It's completely created in Arena. It is a linescape, and the jagginess of the linescape bounces up on the beat, right? Then I create a sphere out of it, and again, some bouncing on the beat. I'm bouncing up the size. I'm bouncing up the extrusion, and then finally I add some really ugly blur, like really high distance, low quality blur, but that works really nice for creating a mask. So now let's set this to a mask layer and bump it on a clip like this. And this is just to demonstrate that you can create cool stuff. Now we have wire now, we have the cool toys now. But I know some of you are out there still learning Arena, still playing around with that, just showing that you can create really unique looking effects using just Arena. Cool mask. And now, of course, now it's still also combined with Steve's ring. So what I would like to do up next is demonstrate how the bouncy patch is made. So I think that would be interesting for you guys to see how that works. If you think, no, I really don't care, Mark, then no, please let me know. But let's take a look at the patch itself. So here we have the patch, which is incredibly simple. So that's a cool thing about this patch, is that it is a really, really simple patch. Let's start at the top. We got our texture in, which is just a test card. Could be a clip, can be the wire logo, doesn't matter. Test card works better. And it goes into a UV offset. UV offset is basically the effect, and then a texture out. So what I'm doing here is I have all my user parameters set up here. Bounce, which is a trigger in node, which is of course the centerpiece of what is going on. Well, that's not entirely true, but this is what creates. I should explain it differently. We should start over here, because what is actually making, what is actually bending the image, right? That's the important part. So what I've done here is I've created a linear node. It runs from 0 to 1. Then I added a reverse, so it's another collection running from 1 to 0. I inserted those one after another. So we have 0 all the way to 1 and then back up to 0 again, right? And I create, out of these values, I create a texture, which gives me this really ugly gradient. Which is fine that the gradient is not that pretty, because after we resize it, it looks pretty. Note the amount of texture, the texture size here is 20 by 1. This is literally just a strip of 1 pixels by 20 pixels wide. Then I resize it to be a gradient, because I want to have these black edges and a white area, because the white area, no, the black area will be displacing the image, if I'm correctly. And this is just, the transform is here just to rotate. The rotated gradient rotates, and all the way up here I have a choice in node, which has vertical and horizontal, which controls which of the two gradients is used. So we either use this one or this one. That's user defined. And we use this in the offset node. So that is pretty nice. Now, when you create an offset, UV offset node, we can demonstrate it like this. This would be the gradient with nothing else. So you can already see a little bit that the image gets distorted. But now, as I increase the multiplier over the x or the x-axis, you can see the image getting displaced by the UV texture, which is in this case is our gradient. That's our offset texture, right? So we can offset it in on the horizontal plane. We can offset it on the vertical plane. And this is basically what we're doing with the effect, right? We want to bounce that around. Then we have a gain here, which simply amplifies it even further, right? So this is a very sensitive little button. Oh. I'm messing up. So that's a sensitive control, because this just amplifies the gain and the multiplier. They work together, right? So that's what we're getting here. So the next step would be to say, okay, I want to have this bouncy wouncy effect. This is what I want. I want to have the bouncy wouncy. To achieve that, we first need a trigger, something to have our multiplier, because our multiplier is set to 0, 0. So right now, nothing is happening. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a trigger. This trigger triggers an attack release node. So upon triggering, it will run from its attack time, which is set to 0.1, to its release time, which is set by the user, the duration of how long the wobble takes. Then where does the wobble come from? Because running from 1 to 0 and back would be a linear movement. If we remove this node for a second, we're going to get a really ugly. Now the movement is linear. But I take the curve node with the elastic in setting, which gives me the wobble. We pack it into a flow 2, because the UV offset wants a flow 2. And we leave the x empty, because we're not modulating anything on the x-axis. We're only modulating the y-axis. And then it gets multiplied by 5, because that's a nice range to work with in the multiplication. It just looks good. That's just trial and error. No point in giving your user control over that. Same with duration. It runs from 0 to 1, because I like parameters that just run from 0 to 1. I think that's very clean. But I needed a higher release time. I want to be able to set durations up to 4 seconds. So I multiply it by 4. Easy. Then we have the gain, which is the gain of the UV node. which we simply give user control to. It's default 0.1, which is also the wire default. The hub node is just here to keep the patch clean. And the wrap node, same, it just gives control over the wrapping. And that's it. That's the entire effect. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about what I make, or the choices that I've made here, or could it be done differently, please ask me in the comments on the chat, and I'll answer your wire questions. I'll just keep bouncing around. Yeah, so one thing is the curve node gets mentioned. It's a very versatile tool. Also, I can try some other curves, maybe. Let's see. I think we could do a sign in, sign out. Well, that's not really working. Yeah, most of these are linear. And I tried to bounce, but it just doesn't really. And the bounce in out is also, nah, it's just not working. Back in, no, this is also a very flat profile. Well, this could work because it bounces the other way up as well. But yeah, curve node, pretty awesome. I'll stick to the elastic in. And you guys can play around with this node as well, with this effect as well. I've put a link in the description to the bouncy effect. You can just download it now. You can use it in Resolume Arena as a free effect, or you can open it in Wire and play around with it in Wire. So that's also nice. So you could make your own bouncy bounce effect if you like. Use it as an example. I don't know. Go wild with it. So it's free. Yeah. Well, Steve, you hit the hammer on the nail, as they say. The curve is like the envelope presets. Well, the envelope curves. It's not the presets. Of course, the presets would be the 4 to the floor and stuff like that. But it basically just takes a value from 0 to 1, and they call it easing, I believe. It's a mathematical thing. But it makes everything we do more smooth. So that's pretty awesome. What I would like to do, let's see if I have it. If this works. Just take a look at Steve's work. If you're okay with that, Steve. Let me know if you don't like it. Then I'll turn it off. Because it would be cool to take a look at the shockwave effect as well, I think. I am going to bypass the bloom just to save up on my GPU. And let's have a look at how this effect works. First of all, we have the size. Oh, I have to, of course, lock the output. So here we have the size. So what is this ring thing? What is creating this ring? That's the big question here. Yeah, if you guys want to, I see Steve asking some questions. If you guys are if you guys are interested in seeing some animation tricks with timelines, transports, oscillators, etc., let me know, and I'll give a quick demo on stuff like that. That's definitely in the realm of possibilities for this live stream. We started with a circle. Let's take a look at this, which grows and grows and grows in size, and an edge is created to create the circle. It gets rendered and it gets, you use the, oh, that's clever. Stein, are you seeing this? So what he did here is, instead of using a blur node, because I expect it to be a blur node in this node, he just turns the anti-aliasing up to 400. If that works, that's interesting. I have never seen somebody do this, and I think it's a clever idea. I read your comment, Steve. It's very handy to organize your notes. I'm a bit how you say organized in that stuff. I need to have it all patched out. That's why you see a lot of hub notes um, in my patching. And also nowadays, for people who didn't know that yet, there's quite a lot of new um, distributing modes up here. So we used to have align to the left and to the top, but now you can also align to the bottom and right, or distribute the nodes. You can stack them on top of each other. So there are a few little tools in here to now clean up your patch a little bit. So, well, I've learned something today. The anti-alias blur. It's probably a lot cheaper GPU wise um, than using an actual blur node. But correct me if I'm wrong. He creates a mask out of the ring, and there's a fisheye applied to. So we have the texture in, which gets rippled. We can ignore all these nodes. These are just user controlled. We have a fish. We have a hub node here. That's doing nothing. Let's delete that. So the texture gets rippled, then it gets into a fisheye, and then it gets masked by the ring we just made. The mask goes into the levels, goes into a color offset. That doesn't do anything, right? OCD for the win. I don't think this does anything. I think we can bypass and delete this. Yeah, that has no effect on the visual. Then we have the base, the texture itself also gets fish-eyed. That's the one we saw in Resolume in Arena. And then we mix the original mask. So the mask, which is fish-eyed, rippled, like mangled, and could be bloomed as well, and throw it into a video mixer. It's a very clean effect. It's really nice. I like it a lot. You put a lot of effort into it, Steve. Well done. I can see you improving your wire skills, improving on a weekly basis. So that's really great to see. Let's move on to the next point. I would like to announce another challenge. If you guys are up for it, I should ask: do you guys like these challenges? Because if you guys not interested in doing them, I will throw them out anywhere because I know we like doing them at the office as well. So for the next challenge, what I was planning to do is make it a footage challenge again. A footage challenge. That's footage challenge. And I'm just going to give it a very broad, very simple, very, for me at least, very thematic theme. That would be theme is summer. So I do expect some bikinis, some bathing suits, sun. Create some footage, summer footage. I will create some kind of tropical house beat for the next live stream. What is an important rule, which I did get a question about by one of the creators of last challenge, is you can use anything. So if you are into Cinema 4D or stuff like that, you can use that. It's footage creation. It's not Resolume specific. It's cool if you have a wire patch, then we can look into the wire patch and learn from it. But you can use Premiere, After Effects. You can use wire. You could use processing, a notch, whatever you are into, right? So just make your clip theme summer at mark at resolume.com. And I'll use all content in a little VJ jam that I will do next week on stream. I'll create some nice tropical house. Really looking forward to that. And then do a little VJ live show. I have a camera on my MIDI controller. And just give a little show of content created by you guys, and also challenging you to make something new. So good luck with that challenge. Footage challenge. Well, what we don't even gonna call it a footage challenge. It's just a challenge. If you want to make a summer themed effect or a summer themed mixer, I'm also cool with that. I was thinking about creating a sunburn because I'm terribly sunburned myself right now. Creating a sunburn effect for Arena. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but we'll see. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that challenge. If there are any questions about Wire, Arena, Ali, VJing, then it's now the time to throw it into the comment section, or else I will end the stream for now, and I'll see you next week. Please let me know if there's any questions. I know there's a little delay on it, so I'll wait a bit. Uh, you are welcome, Mr. Kid Blast Sound System. I hope you are joining the challenge, Kid Blast. I really enjoyed the footage you sent last time. And I also hope that the bouncy effect and the blossom stuff we gave away for free during the streams can help you in your video making. So your YouTube channel, I really enjoy it. Steve is gonna grab some bikinis and thongs and make some footage out of it. To the other guys who are in the stream, yeah, and join the challenge. It's not a competition. It's just challenging yourself to make something cool, and then share it with other VJs and other content creators and learn from each other. So I think that means there are no more questions. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream and say bye bye, and I'll see you next time.